Hello and welcome to The Great Beyond, an Is This Good companion pod where we follow up on last week's episode, answer listener questions, and catch up with each other. The person I'm catching up with is, of course, Jason Doyle.
Hello.
Hi, JD. Thanks for coming today, especially because it's the 4th of July.
Oh, it's the 4th of July. Big holiday. Happy birthday, America.
Happy birthday, America, but I have some unfortunate breaking news for you, JD.
Oh, no.
I don't know if you've seen this, but we're recording this about 11 a.m. Pacific time. And just before hopping on, I saw that the men's division of the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest has been canceled due to inclement weather.
So we get a tarp.
No, they can't. There's lightning. Well, what do they get? They can't tarp the audience.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Fear not, before the cancellation in the women's division, Miki Sudo defended her championship title by eating 39 and a half hot dogs. I honestly didn't know that we did halves in these, but maybe that's a new thing.
Me neither. Yeah.
Sudo thought she ate 37 hot dogs, but then after a judge's count, it was revealed she went so fast some were not counted, bringing her total up to 39 and a half. This is like in the NBA, JD, when someone, shoots a three or shoots a shot close to the three-point line, and they'll say, like, that's a 2. Then they'll go check it later. Suddenly the score will tick up by 1. It's just a fun little extra.
Yeah, crazy. The men's, what's going to happen? Are they postponed, or is it just canceled, straight up canceled?
From what I'm seeing, it's canceled. I don't think you can do it unless it's on the 4th of July, because it kind of ruins the whole premise of the event.
Well, there's always next year, guys. Always next year.
So
is Kobayashi still in the game?
Kobayashi is not in the game. I didn't look it up, but I think he's still competitive eating, but in a different league, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's like a. Let's say this is called the World Eating Federation. I don't think it is,
right.
But he's in a different one. He got, I think, kicked out of this one.
Oh, that sounds familiar now that you're mentioning that. Yeah, like disqualified for something.
Yeah, now let's be honest. It's because he could not defeat Joey Jaws Chestnut, JJ. I think he was claiming all sorts of shenanigans, and at the end of the day, he couldn't produce. Is Kobayashi the most impressive celebrity I have ever met? 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, can you think of a celebrity we met in the course of doing the show that is cooler than meeting Kobayashi?
I mean, I would put Barkley in almost the same tier, but not quite.
Kobayashi could eat Charles Barkley.
Very quickly, too.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
It's also funny because you see, how many did I just say? 39 and a half hot dogs is what she ate in the women's heat before the men's. Joey Jaws Chestnut has eaten 73 hot dogs in the same amount of time.
God. So what's the time frame again? Sorry?
I think it's 10 minutes.
Oh, 10 minutes. My God.
He said that he's eaten 82 hot dogs and buns in a training session and thinks it's humanly possible to go even higher. All right, listen to this quote.
Wow.
If I could train somebody, Chestnut said, I think I could push somebody with the right build to 90. And I was reading this article, it says apparently, as you see in Kobayashi, who's rail thin.
Yeah.
Joey Josh Chestnut.
Even, abs.
He's fit. Yeah, he's fit. Joey Josh Chestnut's a bigger dude. He's a bit wider, but he's not heavy by any stretch. And they say that being heavy is actually a disadvantage. Because I don't know if this is pseudoscience or something, but they say when you have fat on your stomach, it prevents it from expanding further.
Okay. That kind of makes sense to me. Yeah.
But I don't know if you remember, we talked about competitive eating on Is This Good? I think it was the Josiah Johnson episode.
Okay, yeah.
56% of people said that competitive eating competitions are not good.
Yeah.
So on the bright side, only 44% of our listeners are disappointed that this event is canceled. I can't remember what your opinion was. Did you say that you enjoyed watching competitive eating competitions?
I have no idea what I said at the time.
JD, are you saying that the show has no integrity?
No, it's just it changes with my passing moods, and I will say that this is sort of related, and it's going to affect my answer right now. I'm going to say it's not good, but we're doing the No Bunts Mid-Season Awards tomorrow, and all morning I've been working on the graphics for it, and we're calling it the Golden Glizzies. So I've been looking at images of hot dogs all day, and so I'm not into it. When you were talking about 39 and a half glizzies being sucked down in 10 minutes, it actually made me a little queasy. So I'm out on competitive eating today. Today I'm out on it. Yeah, which is terrible because it's the 4th of July. It's the one day of the year.
The one. You gotta wait another 364, babe, if you don't want to. if you miss today, I guess I might as well ask. Thing you think you could eat the most of?
Chicken nuggets, probably. Like
Chicken
nuggets. Yeah, I went when we once did that on the starters. Trey had to throw down as many chicken nuggets as possible in the course of a 30-minute show, and I think he went well over 60. I think, right? Is that right?
That sounds about right. He ate an insane amount, like an impressive amount. People were
and in the first block, his strategy was to front load it and get as many as he could down in that first block, and I was actually getting hungry watching him do that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but then by the end, he looks sick. Like, just think of the amount of sodium you're ingesting, the amount of oil and grease and whatever they cook those things in you're ingesting.
I can't imagine his sleep that night. All the MSG as well. Ugh. I assume they put MSG in those because they're delicious.
Probably. I mean, they are delicious. I am certainly not denying that. Quick update, though. If you're following along, there is no Is This Good show this week. Why? Because JD is headed to beautiful Las Vegas. Next Monday, you're going to get an Is This Good with Kelly Dwyer on Monday, and a Patreon-only Great Beyond with me and JD.
Hell yeah.
So if you want a free 7-day Patreon preview, which would allow you to listen to the show as long as you did it 7 days before. You're going to have to do the math on that. I'm not...
Right.
Thursday or Friday, you sign up. If you sign up today, for instance, it's going to run out before the Thursday. So don't do that.
Just
everyone out there subscribe to Paramount Plus and cancel at some point in their lives.
Exactly right. Just hit Siri up with hey Siri, remind me to join Patreon on Friday. That's it.
Yeah.
And then remind me to cancel. But don't cancel because you're going to...
Well, no. Why would you... No. What are you talking about? Edit that. Say, Siri, keep me so busy next week that I forget to cancel. How about that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. You know what? Sirius Satellite gets me every time, too.
Are you still a member?
I'm still a member, yeah. It comes around every 6 months. And it's the fee plus the royalties, you know? Mm-hmm. So you're paying the royalties, which technically I don't mind, but what is my fee for? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know what you're saying. What are you hooked on now? 70s on 7?
I have all of them programmed. I have 70s, I have 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, all programmed like 8, 9, 10, you know, on my memory thing. Yep,
we've been in the car in the last 30 years.
Yeah, I've got Lithium, obviously.
Oh, yeah, that's the grunge that JD grew up listening to.
Yeah, I'm rarely on that. I'm more on new wave, what's it called? It's like the post-punk stuff. It's it's called new age or new wave, whatever it is.
New romantics, maybe?
No, it's, what the hell is it called? Anyways, it doesn't matter. The Bridge, you know, old-timey yacht rock, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I still listen to it.
Talking about like canceling subscriptions, that's the new you're out and you're like, oh shit, did I leave the stove on? Like sometimes I'll be somewhere and I'll be like, oh, am I subscribed to Stars? Did I like try to watch something and like I need to cancel that now?
Yeah.
Impossible to find out though.
No.
So the fact that next week we're going to do the Great Beyond. Oh, we did tell people you were going to be in Vegas when we recorded this, but we aborted that because then you would have to bring some equipment. You had some work stuff that you couldn't get away from. So we'll just let you enjoy your Vegas trip, be in the moment, and then you're going to come back and regale us with these amazing stories. But because it's a Patreon only, you really got to bring it to make people want to listen to this, to convert people to a paid listener. So what are you going to commit to doing?
I'm going to commit to this. Usually they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Mm-hmm. What happens in Vegas is coming with me and getting on that Patreon episode.
Okay.
So everything. I'm an open book.
I think you need to, if the movies are any indication, the only way you can get crazy in Vegas, you got to start carrying a child around in a baby Bjorn. Okay? You are Galifianakis. Skeets is Ed Helms. Who's Tass is Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper, yeah.
I guess that leaves Trey as the groom that they leave on the roof.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry to ruin. Someone up there's like, I've only seen Hangover 2 and 3, okay? I was saving the best for last. All right, JD, did anything good or not good happen to you this week?
This week was a blur, to be honest. But the highlight of my week was us recording the Fast X finally. Fast Friends is coming back. It's going to drop. When are we dropping this today? So
yes, today's
whatever.
Wednesday. No, today's Tuesday. Why did I say it was Wednesday? It's July 4th, Tuesday.
It's July 4th, yeah. So anyway, July 5th, Fast X, Fast Friends. We finally broke down the movie that everyone's been waiting to hear us talk about, really, over on the No Dunks feed. And I had a blast, to be honest. It was fun. I like it when we all hate something together.
Yeah, well, Trey loved it.
Trey is he's got a special soft spot for those movies for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you this: it's way more fun. Look, I don't ever talk myself up. I'm kind of allergic to it, but I can almost guarantee that listening to 2 hours of us talking about the movie is more exciting than watching 2 hours and 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah, I think I know the answer to this, JD, but rude of me not to ask. Do you have any 4th of July plans? Are you as soon as you hang up, are you going to go don your red, white, and blue Speedo and slip and slide in someone's backyard?
This is my most American shirt that I have. It says Aloha 76, and it has the stars and stripes on it. That is the extent of my my plans. Although I did go to 4th of July party on Sunday.
Okay.
And it was fine. It was good. Americans, man, they get a little hopped up on 4th of July.
No kidding. I mean, what did this not seem like a country that loved itself, its lore, its patriotism? Yeah, this is the apotheosis of that. This, if not today, when?
You're right. Absolutely, 100%. I mean, although the people I was hanging out with definitely leaned to the left, so they were like, "Oh, it was a dark week in the country," and I'm like, "Yeah, you're right." But hey,
I almost was about to say, did something? I mean, I don't even know what they're referring to be honest. It's like pick a bunch of stuff.
Pick one. Pick something. I don't know. I didn't delve in. I didn't want to get into it.
Okay. Well, JD, I want you to go back and tell your lovely hosts, you know what? That's a little bit performative. Okay, this isn't Yom Kippur. Okay, we're not using this as a holiday to reflect on the year. Everyone, bring out your "How did America do this year" scorecard. It's not the time for that. It's a time for barbecues and drinking.
Yeah.
Light beer.
Yeah. Well, actually, he had a shout out to Greg. He had a keg of Stella. That was kind of nice.
This guy is liberal, okay? He is bringing in the product of the socialist European state Belgium, and he's okay. Here's something interesting. You know how in America, Stella is quote-unquote imported and fancy, but in Europe, Stella is a shit beer?
Yeah.
Okay. On Canada Day, our much more understated version of the 4th of July, I went out with my friend Charles, Canadian, his wife, who's not Canadian, Jill, who's not Canadian. All right, that's the best I could fucking do here, all right? 50% Canadian. So we go to this bar, and we're having some lovely afternoon cocktails. I mean, not really doing anything Canada Day related. And then I'm like, you know what? I want to switch to a beer. And I look at the beer menu. There's like 4 beers on it. And I'm like, I'll have the... Hold on a second. Why do you have Labatt Blue on this menu? She's like, yeah, I don't know. The owner of this bar is Canadian. And it was his thing that we had to have one Canadian thing on the menu. So that's Labatt Blue. And she's
Why
like,
does she sound so exasperated? I don't understand.
Well, because she knows that as a bartender, she knows it's not a good beer.
Yeah, okay. Fair.
Right. But she says it's selling like hotcakes.
Right.
Because people are like, wow, look at this exotic thing from above the 49th parallel. But let me tell you, Americans, don't be fooled. It's bad.
Yeah.
We don't think it's good.
No. I mean, it's like your workaday Budweiser or whatever.
Yeah, basically. It's just a little more higher ABV.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's just the same. It's bad.
Yeah. I mean, no, I'm not going to say it's bad. It's not bad.
Okay. Would you rather have a Coors Banquet or would you rather have a Labatt Blue?
I would Coors Banquet. I have actually, my fridge is full of Coors Banquets right now. I like it.
You're going to drink them all before he hops on that plane tomorrow.
No, I can't because I've got a window seat. So I'm actually actively
you're
monitoring my liquid. I'm actively dehydrating myself.
But do you like the window seat?
No.
As a man that pees constantly?
Well, no, I hate it. But originally Rachel was going to come on this trip, and then she decided not to come.
Mm-hmm. Rachel, I'm speaking directly to you here. A wise choice.
Yeah, wise choice. But it was going to be me and her, and like on the window seat, like the middle and window, and then that's not as bad, you know. So, but then she decided not to go, and then I got stuck with the middle. I can't change it; the flight's full. So,
gotcha.
So I'm in that window. So, sorry to the 2 people I'm going to be sitting next to because I'll be getting up at least twice.
I want you to get in a sauna, JD. Get in a sauna with a garbage bag on you. I want you to sweat out every ounce of liquid you have like you're a UFC fighter training to make weight. Because I can't have you getting up and inconveniencing people.
I'm going to don some garbage bags right after this. Run around the block a few times.
Yeah. My good, not good thing is, and I think this is truly both. Okay, so as you know, or may not know, and when I say that, I'm only talking to you, JD. I don't expect random people to be knowing this. But I'm very allergic to pet dander. So cats, dogs, any dog with hair, any animal with hair. But really, it's pertinent to dogs and cats. Jill, my girlfriend, has 2 cats and a dog. So I've been taking these allergy shots so that I can spend more time at her place. And eventually, we can move in together. I mean, we're already trying to move in together. But anyways, so I've been doing this for 2 years. Originally, you're getting them every week, then every 2 weeks. And now that I've been living at Jill's, because my apartment is still not ready due to mold scenario, I kind of thought to myself, why don't I bring home the allergy serum? You can refrigerate it in a regular fridge, and Jill can just give me the shots. And that way I don't have to keep going every 2 weeks to this allergy place. I don't have to keep making appointments. I don't have to keep paying, because it's not a lot. But I pay every time I go to get injected. Just a bit of a pain in the ass. I figure I'm here with another person now. They can be injecting me. And this isn't like some crazy idea I came up with. They told me at the start, like, if you have someone that you live with that can do the injections, that is an option for you.
Why does somebody else have to do the injections?
Oh, because it is an option that I can do them. But if you do them to yourself, it's recommended you do it in your stomach because that's where you have the most fat. And I just like took a pen and squeezed my fat and like pretended to put the pen in, and I was like, ugh, no, I don't want it to be where I can see it. I don't mind getting needles or blood drawn or anything like that. I just don't like to look at the needle being inserted into my epidermis.
Yeah, fair. So where is she putting it, dare I ask?
Urethra.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You'd rather your urethra than your stomach. Wow, that's incredible.
No, she's putting it in the back of my arm, in my flabby triceps.
Okay, cool.
So we set up an appointment to get the education on how to do it. So I brought her with me.
Yeah.
And everything's going fine. And then I sort of stand up and turn around, and she's like, okay, I'm ready to watch you insert it into his arm. And she's like... pinch his fat, and then put it on a bit of an angle, get it in. So I feel the jab coming, and I'm like, that doesn't hurt. And then she's like, okay, now I want you to pull back on it, just a couple of cc's. And you do this to see if there's any blood that comes back up into the syringe, because if that happens, that means you've hit a capillary, and meaning that you cannot inject him there. And they're having this like slow, like patient teaching conversation while it's a fucking needle hanging out my arm, and it's like moving a bit, and I kind of feel it, and now she's talking about like blood, and I kind of turned around and I thought to myself, is this the place to be cutting costs?
Yeah.
But now I'm stuck with it, because now if I decide to go, like, I was kind of like, shit, everything was working fine. I was coming here, I was getting the shot from this very pleasant nurse, same nurse every time. We have a great rapport. Shout out to Karina. And now I can't go back, because now Jill's going to think I don't trust her with a needle. And now I'm stuck with this scenario, which I'm not fully comfortable with. Right. And to be honest, I did get a reaction to, I'm not saying it's Jill's fault. I think she did a great job, but I think the needle being in my arm for a prolonged period of time set something off. So, anyways, I hope it gets better. I'll report back in 2 weeks. She
hasn't actually done one at home yet.
No, this is just in front of the supervision of a trained professional. But they did give us this form, and it just in big writing says, do not take allergy injections if oral temperature is 100 Fahrenheit or higher. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You are experiencing an acute asthma episode. Okay, that makes sense.
Sure.
This one, you are very upset or angry. And probably my favorite part is it says very. Like, if you're upset or angry, I'd say give it a jab. If you're very upset, also it's like upset or angry.
Right.
You know, it's like I go to when would I be upset? Like, okay, I'm at a restaurant. I'm at a restaurant.
Yeah.
I say, okay, we're ready to be seated. They said, sorry, only 7 out of 8 people are here in your party. We can't seat you. I'm upset.
Yeah.
Very upset.
But that's not very upset.
No, I'm very upset. Do not inject me.
Okay.
Do not inject. Okay. Do not inject me at the restaurant. So this is where we are now. So I'm getting medical care at home, like I'm in hospice or something.
How is Jill fine with this? You were just like, hey, Jill, I'm going to need you to inject me once every 2 weeks.
I was she was excited. Cool. She was excited.
Wow. Okay.
She was excited until, honestly, after I said, well, how did it feel for you? She's like, honestly, it's harder than I thought, because you got to pull up the syringe, then push it down with different fingers. But I have faith that it's like any new thing. The more you do it, the better you get.
It's like getting contact lenses. You don't think you can put them in or take them out, and then all of a sudden you're doing it when you're.
I told you once I was kicked out of a doctor's office because I couldn't put the contact lenses in.
Oh, that does sound familiar, actually.
I thought to myself, why don't I get contacts? I go in, had never got contacts before, never put anything in my eye. The doctor's like, okay, well, I'll put them in for you just so you feel. He couldn't put them in. Then he's like, you know what? Sometimes this happens. You know, you're sort of expecting it, anticipating it. Why don't you go outside, relax your eyes, you come back here in 10 minutes. I'll see another patient. I do it, come back in, can't even come close to my eyes.
Wow.
He's like, okay, let's try one more time. Go outside, I'll take another patient. Did it again, and he said, all right, I think that
contacts are not for you.
Contacts are not for you.
You're literally the blinky guy.
I was once the blinky guy. Oh,
I know.
We still had that GIF. I could put it in here. I wanted to talk to you about something, JD, that I know you've probably been waiting 40 years for this to happen.
Okay, yeah.
We Didn't Start the Fire, the Billy Joel song, released in 1989 about cultural and historical events from 1949 to when it was released.
Right.
A new version has come out. Because you've been saying, what about the events that have happened since 1989, right?
Every time that song comes on, I'm like, yeah, but what about after 1989?
That's right. Well, it's happened, and I always told you if someone was going to redo the song and change the lyrics, It should be Fall Out Boy that does it.
Yes.
And my prayers were answered. So Fall Out Boy released is it a cover? I guess it is a cover.
Yeah, so, well,
but it's
that's a good question. It's a parody song, actually.
Well, they don't think of it as a parody. I read some interviews, and to be clear, they're very earnest about it.
Okay, good.
So I sent it to you before this podcast started. Did you listen to it?
I listened to the first half, and then I realized you sent me the lyrics, which saved me from the second half of the song. Yes. Because I hate that song. I hate the original.
I'm preparing this whole show, and you can't listen to a 4-minute song?
Well, I thought it was... I got the gist. It's exactly the same as the original, but different lyrics. And you sent me the lyrics, so I fucking... I was like, all right.
You read it like it was a poem?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, well, I was going to say gut reaction, what did you think of the song? But I guess since you stopped listening a minute and a half in, you didn't
I have enough to... Yeah, I hate this. I hate the original. I hate it. I thought it was cringe the day it came out originally in 1989, and this is just worse. It's... Because they are so... Since it's so... Did Weird Al ever do this song?
No, not that I know of. Now, that's a good plug for the Kelly Dwyer episode that's coming out on Monday.
Yeah,
because we do talk about parody songs and Weird Al.
Yes. Yes.
So for further discussion of that, tune in Monday. But right now, we're talking about a song that I don't think is a parody. It's very sincere, and we deserves to be analyzed critically, like the great works of our time.
Remind me, like they have the Arab Spring and Pokemon in the same verse.
It's high-low, JD. A lot of things have cultural things. Okay,
I know, but isn't it supposed to be the fire? Like we didn't start this fire. Shouldn't it be all Arab Spring? Like, Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man. Like, and then
but in the first one he talks about Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. Well, okay, you're right. But she died of an overdose.
So how do you interpret the fire then? When he says we didn't start the fire, what's the fire?
The fire is bad shit that's been happening. Because we're trying to fight it. We didn't start the fire. It's always been burning since the world's been turning. We didn't start the fire. We didn't light it, but we're trying to fight it.
Okay, well, then tell me what is bad about this. Lawrence of Arabia, British Beatlemania.
Nothing. It doesn't make any sense. It's a terrible song. The original is terrible, and this is terrible.
Moonshot, Woodstock, Watergate, punk rock. 3 of those 4 things are good.
Yeah. They're great.
So the fire is perhaps the fire's progress.
Why are we fighting it then?
Great question. Because we are Luddites?
Because we didn't start it. We didn't start the fire.
The fire is just everything then. The fire is anything that has ever happened. You being born was the fire. Was part of the fire.
I'm totally fine with that. Again, why are we fighting it?
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Like, why would we be fighting... let me just see. Rock Around the Clock. Davy Crockett, Peter Pan, Elvis Presley, Disneyland? We don't need to be... I mean, fighting Disneyland? What am I, Ron DeSantis? Okay, so what did you think of... Okay, so as you pointed out, the Arab Spring is the second thing.
It's the second thing after Captain Planet.
Do you know what the first thing? Yeah, Captain Planet.
Like, what the hell? It's a cartoon they watched, I guess, right?
They don't subscribe to, like, starting it off with a bang. Like, if anything, start it off with Arab Spring, right?
Yeah, 100%, except that doesn't work, like, phonetically, or the rhythm doesn't work. Captain Planet, Arab Spring, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Why Captain Planet, too?
No idea.
It could just be, like, they could have just gone, Ren and Stimpy, Arab Spring.
Right.
That would have been better. Now, the big thing is that this one is not in chronological order. Billy Joel's isn't exactly but it's in general chronological order.
Right.
So they asked them, hey, well, we noticed that yours isn't in chronological order. So Pete Wentz, he's the bassist and the songwriter. Mm-hmm. He said, listen, we did our best. It's very, very difficult. Are you satisfied with that answer? Direct quote.
We did our best. It's very, very difficult. Okay.
It's like all of a sudden, no one asked you to do this.
Mm-hmm. It's literally that meme. No one.
no one, colon, and nothing, and then Fall Out Boy, colon.
Yeah.
Captain Planet, Arab Spring. My favorite line is definitely, I don't know why this one makes me laugh so funny. So when he goes, Crimean Peninsula, Cambridge Analytica, Kim Jong-un, Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man. What are we doing here? So he says, Billy Joel's is not totally in chronological order, but it is in more chronological order than ours. We just wanted the JFK blown away line, and clearly I think the World Trade was a little more... That was people probably felt a similar way. You remember where you were or whatever. Sure, so it's a little bit out of order, but it is what it is. I mean, okay. So I agree with him that you could compare JFK's assassination to 9/11 because it is a classic, like, where were you the day that happened? Yeah. But in the original, it's the crescendo is like, JFK, blown away, what else do I have to say? In this one, it's... How did they do it? World Trade, second plane, which doesn't even rhyme. What else do I have to say? Yeah. They could have gone, World Trade, bad day. What else do I have to say?
Listen, Matt, it's very difficult, and they tried their best.
They tried their best. Also, okay, here's a couple lines that I really enjoyed. Unabomber, Bobbit, John.
Like, Bobbit, comma, John.
Bobbit, comma, John. Also, would you agree that if you're going to reference Bobbit, it should be Lorena Bobbitt, not John Bobbitt? The mover of history, the doer, not the receiver of history?
Yeah.
I also laughed because there's a part where it goes, Golden State, and I was like, honoring, Steph, changed the game, three-point shot, Dynasty. And then the next line is, killer got caught. I was like, oh. Right. It's Golden State, killer got caught. So
yeah, but that rhymes with SpongeBob. That's why that's there.
Keaton Batman. Oh, they do reference Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
So that is exciting. Anyways, this song sucks.
And hold on, is 45 Trump? Because I've already referenced Trump. Right?
But isn't
Michael Jordan 45?
Isn't 45 the number he wore when he played baseball?
Oh.
Hold on.
It could be, yeah.
Oh, no, he wore 45 at some point in the NBA.
Okay. Right, okay.
Yes, okay. But it shouldn't be Michael Jordan 23?
Yeah, but doesn't it rhyme with whatever?
But
it doesn't rhyme with anything.
Hold on. I gotta come to Pete Wentz's defense.
Okay.
The Wentz defense. It says, Venus and Serena, Michael Jordan 23, YouTube killed MTV, SpongeBob, Golden State Killer got caught. Michael Jordan 45, Woodstock 99, Keaton Batman, Bush v. Gore, I can't take it anymore. Yeah, I changed my mind. This is a fucking great song. So they're doing the Jordan 23, then he left, came back, Jordan 45.
Right.
Okay. The weirdest thing about this is that I saw this came out, I listened to it, I was like, I gotta ask JD about it, because I'm gonna guess he probably hates the original. And
you guessed
so I throw it in the document for today. This is yesterday.
Yeah.
Jill comes over, she's like, oh, hey, I'm going out tonight. I'm like, oh, okay, where are you going? She's like, Fall Out Boy concert. Like, what? She's like, yeah, my friend just called, she has an extra ticket, and I figured, don't really love Fall Out Boy, but what the hell. So, she's out till 1 a.m., right? I gotta go to sleep, get up, and do the show. I wait up, knowing I'm not going to see her in the morning. I wait up to hear a report on how did it go when they played We Didn't Start the Fire.
Yeah.
She gets home. I'm like, how was the concert? She's like, oh, it was good. It was staying in, and then the crowd was super. I'm like, how was We Didn't Start the Fire? She's like, oh, they didn't play it. And then I was like wide awake. I was like, what? They didn't play it? So, didn't sleep well last night, JD.
When did this came out just now, right? Like this is
It came out this like a couple, maybe a few days ago.
Okay.
Okay, it was time. Everyone agreed it was time.
Are they somehow related, or they're just big fans of My Chemical Romance? Because they have one of their albums is a lyric, isn't it? Black Parade or something?
No, that Black Parade is My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't understand.
Why is that on there?
On what?
This song. Black Parade. Right after Polar Bears Got No Ice, Fire Fest, Black Parade, Michael Phelps, Y2K.
Oh, they're shouting. Yeah, they're saying.
They're
Black
shouting
Parade
out
was
my
a seminal
okay.
moment in the emo revival scene.
Yeah, okay, that's what I figured.
Yeah, it was like at the time it was basically Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco, My Chemical Romance were like the big three. I think.
Right.
Not a huge emo head. A little past my time, I have to say.
Yes.
All right, some quick housekeeping. As I said, next week's Great Beyond is Patreon only. To listen, go to patreon.com/isthisgood. If you want to check it on a trial basis, you can do that. When you're done with this, as you already mentioned, JD, go listen to Fast Friends on the No Dunks feed. That drops early Wednesday morning. Mm-hmm. We have merch. Go to isthisgoodpod.com to buy that. Makes a great 4th of July gift. Not a thing, but hey, start new traditions. Send us emails at isthisgoodpod@gmail.com. Could always use some good topics for the future. And subscribe on YouTube. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Some notes to follow up on, JD.
Okay.
I've been waving at a lot of fire trucks.
Oh. I have not seen one. So I've been looking for fire trucks to wave at. But I've never seen one.
It's interesting you say that because I am shocked at how many fire trucks I've seen and have been able to not only wave at, but wave at for long enough that Jill can get out her camera and the fire truck has not sped by yet. I'm like, because Skeets was like, oh, you should find a fire truck to wave at and post it. You know, Skeets he's always thinking, okay? He understands the social game better than
he gets it.
You or I do. Sure. I said, great idea. But when am I ever going to see a fire truck and be able to get on my phone and wave at it? Then the next day I saw a fire truck, and then the day after that I saw another one. And I was able to post them both. Yeah. Crazy. So the fire trucks are out there, people. You just need to wave for them. By the way, I don't recommend it. You feel very stupid.
Did anyone wave back? Like any of the firefighters go, hey, that child with the beard is waving at us?
No, both trucks were unaware and rushing towards burning buildings. So they didn't have time.
Well, shout out to the firefighters.
And
wave at them.
And wave at them. Appreciate what they do. All right. I would say this is the eternal follow-up. We're always following up on this because every time something new comes out about this, we have to talk about it. And I know this isn't something crazy that happened on an airplane. This is, of course, about your favorite sport, your wife's favorite sport, the emerging game known as pickleball. Here's an article in the New York Times, came out yesterday. Headline is, Shattered Nerves, Sleepless Nights. Pickleball noise is driving everyone nuts. So, if you wouldn't mind, I'm just going to give you a couple short paragraphs about the gist of what this article is about.
Please.
The most grating and disruptive sound in the entire athletic ecosystem right now may be the staccato pop, pop, pop emanating from America's rapidly multiplying pickleball courts. The hubbub has given new meaning to the phrase racket sport. You know, because it's causing a racket.
That's a good line. I have to say. I enjoy that line.
Testing the sanity of anyone within earshot of a game. Decibel readings alone are insufficient for conveying the true magnitude of any annoyance. Two factors, the high pitch of a hard paddle slamming a plastic ball and the erratic, often frantic rhythm of the smacks also contribute to its uncanny ability to drive bystanders crazy. Did you happen to see this article, JD?
I did. I saw it in my regular life. I purposely
Are you part
didn't...
of a forum that sends out articles like this?
No, I'm just a subscriber to the New York Times. I'm also an employee. I saw it and I purposely didn't read it because I knew it would annoy me. And then you sent it to me and I was like, fuck, I guess I got to read it now. But I read it.
Well, no, you read 4 paragraphs and stopped?
No, I read the whole thing.
Okay, perfect, because I didn't tell you this part, but here's what I'd like you to do. I would say that anytime someone's like, oh, pickleball's not good on TV, pickleball's annoying for tennis players, pickleball's too loud, you get your dander up,
yeah,
your collar pops, you get angry.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do is I want you to be the pickleball ambassador. So I'm going to read you quotes from the article, because they interviewed a lot of people who made their case about why they think the sound is so goddamn annoying. And I want you to respond to these people by name, so pretend I'm them, as if you're their friend or neighbor or something. So I want you to really...
very difficult.
Take their complaints, take them seriously, but advocate... I mean, look, if you get angry, you get angry. All right, let's start off with Sue Ellen Welfonder. Okay, that's not a made-up name. Sue Ellen Welfonder. She's 66. She's a best-selling romance novelist from Longboat Key, Florida. Again, if this wasn't in the New York Times, I would question whether that was a real sentence, but Sue Ellen Welfonder is 66. She's a best-selling romance novelist from Longboat Key, Florida. All right. Sue Ellen once enjoyed listening to the singing birds and the gentle swish of trees during her daily walks, what she calls her, quote, soul balm time.
God.
The thump-thump of a tennis match never bothered her either, but the arrival of pickleball this spring, she said, shattered her idol. Pickleball has replaced leaf blowers as my #1 noise nuisance, said Welfonder, who has been sketching the outlines of a new novel set in the present day with a couple of pickleball-loving characters. Quote, I'm making them really nasty people. So what would you say to me, a 66-year-old best-selling romance novelist named Sue Ellen Welfonder, who complains that this is ruining my daily walks, my soul balm time. It's worse than leaf blowers.
Right. Well, first I would say, Sue Ellen, if you need a name for your pickleball characters, please. I would be honored if you named them Jason Doyle and Rachel Seelig. We would love to be the nasty pickleball players in your book. Also, we're terribly sorry for the inconvenience. If you think that leaf blower is worse than leaf blowers, then I suggest you get your hearing checked. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe on your walk, you walk away from the sound of the pickleballs instead of, walking next to them. I don't know what to tell you, Sue Ellen.
Well, I believe, and I think you can admit, that at least a leaf blower is a constant sound that I can tune out, like a white noise machine. A white noise machine that gets rid of my leaves.
Well, I disagree with you there, Sue Ellen.
Because it hyperlinked, like where it says best-selling romance novels, it hyperlinked. I hadn't clicked on it until just now. We have to put this in the show. We're putting this in the show. This is the funniest looking website I have ever seen. It looks like it's from 1998.
Yeah.
She's something called the Highland Warrior series. Okay. It's like I guess it's like sex fantasy. The Laird of Liongate Hall. Another one's called Master of the Highlands. Oh, here's a good one. Women Who Tame Dangerous Heroes. Sizzling Tales of Passion, Seduction, and Love by Sue Ellen Welfonder. Do you think, could that be an alias, you think? Like, who wrote the 50 Shades? It's like...
yeah.
It's like listed as like J.M. Gray or something.
Right.
But it's like pseudonym, so people didn't know that their friend was a sex writer.
Yeah, interesting. Here, I'm clicking the link to it to see. Oh my god.
Okay, look at it.
How is this set in modern day?
E.L. James. That's who wrote it.
That's it.
Okay, are you ready to respond to our next complainant?
Okay, sure. I'm at the end of my patience though, so more.
Okay, well then get angrier, because you didn't really give Sue Ellen the business.
Well, she's a 66-year-old woman, and I don't know. I'm not gonna. But it is fucking insane.
Excuse me, sir. 66 is not that old. I'm in the prime of my life. I'm writing romance novels where a big, strong man picks up a little old lady and spins her around on his cock. That's what we used to call a spinner. All right, the next complainant is 51 years old. So this person's your age, JD.
Yeah.
And Armand, so you don't have to feel like maybe you're yelling at a woman. I believe Armand is a man.
Okay.
All right, Armand Ciccarelli, 51 years old, who often walks his dog Winona around the community center, said that anybody downplaying pickleball noise should try hearing it for 12 hours a day. Quote, I know this seems like a small thing in the grand scheme of the world, where we're dealing with big things like climate change, but as you can see, it's a nationwide problem. What would you say to me, Armand Ciccarelli? And I will try to stop myself from doing a over-the-top Italian voice when I respond to you.
I'd say move, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
What would you tell me if I they built an airport near my house? Planes are flying overhead.
Yeah, I would say move.
Okay. I would say...
Listen. I live in a city. I moved into my house. Before we bought the house, I didn't realize there was a fucking train track right next to it. There's a freight train that goes by 10 times a day. Okay? You get used to it. I have a farm at the end of my street. What are you, living in my cousin Vinny? Basically, I have a farm at the end of my street. It is literally like my cousin Vinny.
How did you not know there was a... Now, okay, I'm back to me. I'm not Armand. How did you not know there was a... did you not look at a map? Did you not explore the area?
Do you
look diligence?
When I'm looking at a map when I'm buying a house, I'm looking for highways, not train tracks. But anyways, I don't mind the train.
I look for both.
I guess. I don't know.
I don't mind the train, he says, like a hobo in the 20s. Okay.
I don't mind the train. And then there's a farm. I didn't know there was a farm at the end of the street.
Yeah, that's harder to know.
The bleating of the lambs, it's like Clarice in the middle of the night. I'm hearing the shrieking lambs down there. You know what I do? I close my window. That's all. That's it.
Okay, so you've no sympathy for me, Armand, or my cute dog, Winona. She hates it.
Winona doesn't give a shit. Let's be honest.
You think it's worse than climate change?
No. Well, no, I don't. To be honest, I was playing at a court yesterday that was very close to houses, and it was 5 o'clock. We started, so around the dinner hour, and it's right next to a pool, and I was sensing some dirty looks from the people in the pool, and we're definitely close to to houses, like at a complex where people are living, and I thought to myself, I wonder if this bothers people. But then
it does.
Didn't. Yeah, apparently.
The New York Times, your employer, is telling you that it annoys people.
Yeah, this guy who wrote the article, he just fucking hates pickleball. That's it. Like he's a tennis guy.
It's a hatchet job. It's not a racket job. It's a hatchet job.
It's written in the voice of a tennis player who's just like pickleball sucks, and that's the end of it. I mean, at one point, don't they describe the sound? They describe it like they compare it to popcorn popping. Is there a more pleasant sound than popcorn?
No. They say the pop pop pop. Someone compares it to gunshots. It's just like a pistol going off.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, this is going to be your hardest test yet, JD, because I'm about to introduce you to Dan Lavery. Okay?
Okay.
Nice
to meet you,
I don't know how you're going to deal with this. I don't know how you're going to deal with this. It's the third one and the last one. This is your toughest test. All right, quote. This is Dan Lavery speaking.
Okay.
One of our neighbors who lived directly across from the courts and was dying from cancer noted the pickleball noise was worse than his cancer. Sadly, he recently passed.
The pickleball killed him before the cancer could.
If the cancer doesn't catch you, the pickleball will.
Yeah, I have no response. R.I.P.
Really?
Dan. I don't know.
No, it's not Dan didn't die. Dan's neighbor died.
The catastrophization of this, and just like these people just have no sense of. We've reached a point where people just don't. They know there's no suffering in this country. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are they complaining about?
And on the 4th of July, a Canadian is mansplaining the greatest country in the world.
I'm looking at a picture of two of these complainers, and let me tell you, they could do with a couple of rounds on the pickleball court. That's all I'll say. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. Let's get to the comment of the week. So we had some people talking in the Discord, the Is This Good Discord. Remember, you can join the Discord once you join the Patreon. Patreon.com/isthisgood. Super fun community of people that listen to the show. All right, so they're talking about these Blank Jones episodes, which we brought up last week. These are old Basketball Jones starters episodes where we would talk about random stuff during the summer to pass the time until basketball came back. So apparently, and I didn't remember that we did this, but we did one called the Parenting Jones, which was about parenting. Funnily enough, at the time, this was like 11 years ago, most of us, well, I still don't have kids, but Tass, who now has 2 kids, did not have kids. Trey, who now has 2 kids, did not have kids. All right, so this is the conversation happening in the Discord. Fierdo says, I just listened to the parenting show, and it's so funny listening to them all talk about it before Trey and Tass had kids. Young Pep Dash writes back, right? Seb, that's Lee's kid, was a baby, and Jackson and Lincoln, your kids, JD, were 4 and 6. Right. It reminds me how long I've been listening to the show. Fierdo writes back, I know. JD is like, I hope when Lincoln is 16, he tells me to fuck off. We need an update. And then Young Pep Dash wrote, is this good? Your teenage child telling you to fuck off. So I was like, surely this is a bit out of context. So I went back, I found the show. I wish I could have listened through the whole thing. It's like an hour long, but I didn't have time. So I was clicking around until I found this part. And here is what you said. So it was in the context of you saying, I don't want to be their best friend. I want to be their father. Yeah. So here, this direct quote, JD. He said, I kind of want them to be like, fuck you, Dad. If my kid isn't giving me the finger by the time they're 16, maybe I've done something wrong. So we're like 11 years later. Lincoln is 16, correct?
He's about to be 17.
About to be 17. So let's get an update. Has he told you to fuck off? And do you agree with old you's advice?
I would definitely agree with old me's advice for sure. Jackson this morning, I'm pretty sure, told Rachel to fuck off. If not literally,
is it funny? I don't know. Should I be laughing?
Yeah, of course you should be laughing. He was firing up his PS5, and Rachel's like, "Why don't you go read a book?" He's like, "It's the 4th of July." He turned into like angry teen. It was like, I can't even relax, and I'm like, "You just got up, bro." And
if I don't celebrate my country by playing Call of Duty and killing foreign nationals in various wars America has been involved with, how can I celebrate properly?
Yeah. And so he stormed off, and, we didn't see him for about an hour or so. But anyways, he basically told us to fuck off. And, Lincoln got smart early, though. He used to throw tantrums a little bit, but he debates and jokes his way out of situations now, which is much higher. He's going to win an argument a lot easier if he tries to actually reason with me rather than just turn into turn it into a "fuck you, Dad, I'll skateboard if I want to" kind of thing. So, but it definitely happens for sure.
But I think you were sort of saying, like, I want them to have their own personality. I want them to rebel a little bit, just like they stop listening to your music and they say, "We're not listening to the Lithium station on Sirius XM anymore, Dad. Okay, we don't think that Mudhoney is actually that good, if you must know. And we want to listen to our own music."
Yeah. And
so have they successfully fully rebelled against old man Doyle's
rights? The problem is that I'm too cool. Like you know what I mean?
Dirt off your shoulder, buddy.
Yeah. No, they listen to everything, I think. Yeah. Oh, you know what? There is one thing that's going to annoy you, I think, is that they think Weezer is cringe.
Well, they are cringe. Unless you're listening to their first 2 albums, sorry, they're cringe.
That's what I say. And they're like, "No, Dad, it's all cringe. It's all cringe."
Well, here's the problem. We listened to Blue and Pinkerton, as they were happening, right? So we didn't know what was to come. They are listening to it once it's all been out there, or mostly been out there. So they're experiencing it as a totality. So now it's hard to disentangle, like the Sweater song, which seems kind of cheesy and cringe, from, I don't know,
Hash Pipe or Dope Nose,
like a shitty cover of Africa, or a song about pork and beans, or Beverly Hills. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But you can't deny the catchiness of them, and the production is amazing. Rick Ocasek back in the day.
Cringe shit can be catchy. Sometimes the catchier shit is cringy shit. Like, I don't know, fucking Baby Shark.
Yeah. Yeah, fair.
I want to just tell you a couple other funny things I found as I was just time hopping around this episode, because I didn't listen to the whole thing. One thing that blew my mind, I said XYZ. Z, JD.
Yeah,
we were living in Canada at the time.
I still slip it in by accident or on purpose.
I know, I'll say XYZ every time now.
Really?
Don't even need to think about it. Oh, here's another funny thing. We were asking like the question to the table, were you afraid of your father growing up? Mm-hmm. And you said, yeah, and actually I didn't give a shit, and he was the only thing I was scared of. And then you said, it was like, I wasn't even scared of cops, and then you paused and you're like, well, actually, my dad was a cop.
Yeah.
That was very funny. Your dad was both.
Yeah.
And this was funny. I don't remember if you said this was Jackson or Lincoln, but I'm probably Lincoln, right? Because Jackson would have been super young at this time.
Yeah.
But maybe it was, because you were saying, we're talking about like funny things that kids say, and you said, oh, well, he just went up to Rachel and said, you don't have a vagina. And Rachel was like, I don't? And he said, no, you have a penis that you keep in your butt. Does that sound familiar?
It does not, but it sounds like something Lincoln would say for sure.
I think it might have been Jackson, also because you said Lincoln was 6 years old at the time.
Oh, okay, yeah. So maybe it was Jackson.
And you said that his catchphrase at 6 years old was, how about you give me a little credit? Like you're telling him to go clean his room, so he was like, hey, how about you give me a little credit, man? Which I thought was pretty funny. Anyways, one day I do hope to go back and listen to some of these, because as we've established on the show, I'm a nostalgia whore. I just love going back. I didn't have time, but I will go back and listen to these.
Well, shout out to who was collecting them? I mean, is it Young Pat?
Oh, yeah, I should say. Well, someone sent me a. You know what? I will retweet the link that they sent me on Twitter, and it's a link to a Dropbox.
Okay.
I'm just gonna.
And they're all in there. Oh God.
I mean, I don't know for sure they're all in there.
I don't think I could listen to that.
Sabby Shop 4 collected them in a Dropbox.
Wow. So
I will RT that so you can go listen to them. They're not. I mean, they're honestly, speaking of cringe, they're not as cringe as I thought. I mean, I haven't listened to the super early ones, but yeah, it's just some funny guys talking about some funny stuff, hanging out. Same as
it's simpler time.
It's simpler times. All right, listen to next week's show. That's coming out July 10th. The guest is Kelly Dwyer.
Mm-hmm. It was a good one. I enjoyed that one.
I just paused because I was like, I want to go, da-na-na, Kelly Dwyer. We talked to Kelly Dwyer. Yes, we did invite him, then we tried to fight him. We talked to Kelly Dwyer. All right. Email us at isthisgoodpod@gmail.com. Subscribe everywhere. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Go listen to Fast Friends. That's out tomorrow, Wednesday. What did I say? Go wave at a fire truck. Daniel Ralston, former guest, just texted me as we're talking. He said, this has got to be the biggest waving at fire trucks day of the year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good point.
I agree. So get out there and wave at those fire trucks. Send me the pictures. I do love to see them. This was JD and Matt reaching out from the great beyond. Happy 4th of July.
Oh, yeah.
Happy
one sec. Well, hold on. Before you go.
No, you can't. Before we go. Talk over me. Keep going.
If you're in Vegas on Saturday.
Yes.
There is going to be an athletic meet up, so I will be there. So 1/2 of this podcast and 1/5 of the No Dunks podcast, all of those guys will be there. And it's at the BetMGM Sportsbook in the MGM Grand at 4 p.m. There is also a meet and greet, I think at Thomas and Mack or somewhere, with Victor Wembanyama. So I'm expecting numbers to be quite low to the.
But how many people? I mean, that guy's got long arms, but how many people could he possibly meet and greet? You guys are like Tass, Skeets, Trey, plus all the athletic NBA guys.
Yeah.
That's like you pile all those guys together on a trench coat, they're about as tall as Victor Wembanyama.
You're right.
So yeah, go if you're out in Vegas. 2 people on our Patreon live stream last week, which was super fun, by the way. They're going to be in Vegas. They're going to go see you. Isn't that exciting?
Yeah, Lawrence
and you'll be.
Cole.
You told me off mic that you're going to meet and greet the people that listen to this show harder than the people that listen
harder.
to Just No Dunks.
Yeah, way harder. So
you said you're not just going to meet and greet. You're going to hug and snug.
All right. Maybe a hug, maybe a bro type half hug.
Walk up to JD, say, "Is this good?" He will hug you. Okay, that's a promise. Yeah. Don't talk shit about pickleball. Or during the hug, he will crush you. He will suck the wind out of your tailpipe and murder you in cold blood. All right, that's it for us. We'll see you next week.